What up, gang? What up, squad? What up, cool kids? It's your boy. It's your boy. It's your boy. It's your boy. Um. So, what up, everybody? It's your boy Malcolm. Malcolm, I say, everywhere. Y'all know the freaking vibes. So, I'm actually revamping a few things. I am going to. I started the principal protocol, and I was like, I want to be in a position where I talk about whatever I want in whatever capacity I want, whether it be tech, gaming, business, entertainment, anime, whatever. Just want to talk about whatever I want, period. So I am pivoting. Yes, I am absolutely pivoting to the Malcolm Coley podcast or the Malcolm show or whatever I feel like that I want to call it. It's probably going to be the Malcolm Coley show. Like Joe Budden has his podcast, Joe Rogan has his podcast. We're probably just going to go ahead and call it the Malcolm Coley show, and it's going to sit on YouTube. So what I'm doing is being in a position where I am going to do high level conversations with a bunch of folks that are in my network. I am going to bring these people to you to give you information, to help you align with your purpose, to be funny, to talk about all the blurred stuff that I want. I'm not going to have any limit to what I'm going to do with this particular podcast. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go and make this podcast as good as I potentially can. I'm going to talk about whatever I want, and I'm going to make sure that it aligns and it's relatable to the people who it serves. So this is me coming back out with something dope, something fly, something fresh. And there's a ton of podcasts out there. I recommend anyone who is in the space of creating content, do a podcast, and you can do it 100% virtual like this. Shout out to the platform that I'm using right now, Riverside. I'm using Riverside to curate this virtual podcast. And my podcast is going to be virtual. I want to be able to interview anybody in the world at any time, any moment. And I could do that virtually from this podcast. And I could also take this with me. I could get me a microphone, get me a camera, take all this stuff with me and set it up wherever I want. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. There's so many things going on with the world. So many things going on with the world. And we're going to talk about a lot of it as it happens in real time. One thing that, and I'm a little stuffed up, please don't mind me. One thing that I have decided that I'm going to do is really double down on content, double down on media, double down on, I love gaming. Gaming is just so great. And AI, listen, I'm going to segue right into it. AI is really a game changer, y'all. AI is really a game changer. And where I sit, where I stand, and how I see it, and I want to be in a position where I can dive much deeper from an AI perspective. And I'm not there yet. And I am so determined to get myself to that place where I dive much deeper than what I already am. So, with that being said, and what I want to tell everybody who might potentially listen to this particular podcast, I'm going to try my best not to cuss, but if I want to cuss, I'll cuss. I'm going to try my best not to. I'm going to try not to curse on this podcast because, YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and all the social medias, right? So, this technology is disrupting the world on a multitude of levels. This technology is disrupting the world on a multitude of levels to the point where we are, black and brown folks, are getting left behind at a tremendous rate. And shout out to the folks at Earn Your Leisure, and this is on my mind, and I got to talk about it. because I want to put myself in a position to learn more, to be an advocate, to make an impact, to be able to create the technology that we're using. This technology is being developed at Godspeed. And there are companies that are developing this technology and implementing this technology at Godspeed. And when you talk about Black and brown folks in America in general, we are so far behind. We are so far behind in this conversation. We are not implementing or executing or producing this technology, understanding the data sets, the models, all of the things. We are not moving fast enough. And I wish that I could move much faster. However, I am a human being and I cannot. Nvidia is in a position where they are powering the entirety of the planet with this technology. They are powering the planet with this technology, from the GPUs and being able to make their energy consumption much lower and be more efficient with that energy consumption being lower. So I'm actually going to do a review of this past NVIDIA conference. Like I said, guys, I'm really going to dive deep into tech because that's what I love, and I'm really, really passionate about this. And I'm going to dive deep into it. And like I said, we are so far behind in this technology. We are just so far behind. And when you talk about biases and regulations and being able to advocate, we don't even have enough people from a Black and brown perspective. We don't even have enough people in these spaces to even fathom what advocacy looks like, to even fathom what regulation looks like, to even really truly understand what curating the actual technology, actually implementing technology that we create, and putting it in a position where it could be used on a corporate or enterprise level. We don't even we're not there. Unfortunately, I absolutely want to get there, and I know it's people around me, a few people around me who are in that space who want to really, really, really get there. It's scary. No, I don't want to say scary. Let me not say that. The things that they will be able to do with this technology, it is literally going to replace people. It's going to replace people. And have been constantly saying, if we're not in a position where we're learning and executing and implementing, we will absolutely be lost. And I know Black and brown people are so innovative, and we're survivors. We survive and thrive in every way, shape, and form. However, this technology is going to put us in a position where it's going to severely impede our ability to thrive. Because when we are put in a position where we can't provide or have a way to provide, a means to provide, it gets a little thick. And from what I know and from what I understand, once again, shout out to the guys from Earning Leisure, the biggest industry or the biggest industry, yes, the biggest industry or the job, the job that men have, right? I'm just keep this at men for right now. Driving is the thing that men do to provide. This technology is going to create autonomous vehicles. They're going to be self-driving. What are we going to do if we cannot drive cars in order to make a livelihood? Men, what are we going to do? This already implicit bias in so much of this technology. What are we going to do when we get to the point where we can't even affect anything, because we're so far behind in this technology? What I know to be true is that they're in other countries, they're teaching how to use AI in primary school. In primary school, we are America. We are trying to ban it from schools where they're teaching it in schools. And that just goes to show how far behind we are in this particular race. I mean, when and I don't and I'm very what's the word? I'm pretty decent with my knowledge in AI. Obviously, I can learn a lot more than I am. I'm pretty decent with my knowledge in AI. And I'm not even at the point where I know how deep the rabbit hole goes. I know for a fact that if we don't shift this thought process around AI and be able to move much faster, we're already way from a robotics perspective. Physical AI is what they call it, a physical AI. And now what they're really trying to do is they're really trying to give AI rational thought. And because they're trying to give AI rational thought, that just puts us even further behind. All of these models with the information, like it's already super smart. It's intelligent. ChatGPT, super intelligent. Claude, super intelligent. Gemini, super intelligent. We have AI agents that can literally do tasks for you. They could do tasks for you. What happens when they could do the task for you? They're already intelligent. And this is not to scare you. This is to put you in a position where you can learn and where you can just start to really understand. I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care if it's agriculture. I don't care if it's science. I don't care if it's fashion. I don't care if it's construction. I don't care. There is going to be a AI component that is literally going to change the way how you interact with that industry completely. It's already changing. I'm in gaming, I'm in content, and I'm in media. It's already completely shifted how we interact with content, how we interact with media, how we play video games, right? Like anybody who is underneath the sound of my voice and who is listening to this, please start learning it. I don't care what industry you're in, I don't care how old you are. Teach this to your kids. I don't care. I absolutely do not care. Start with ChatGPT, understanding how to prompt it. Go to Gemini, understand how that works. Go to Claude, understand how that works. Perplexity, understand how all of these large language models work, and then just go from there. And if you feel as though that you are having a hard time understanding this or really trying to put yourself in a position where you want to understand it more, man, just go to YouTube. YouTube has all types of stuff that you can learn from. Shout out to Goya with the coconut water. Sponsor me. It's all types of stuff that you can learn. I when I went started going down my rabbit hole, right with Google, right with Google, and I just really started to be like, what's this prompting thing? As soon as I heard artificial intelligence, I started to go down a rabbit hole, and I'm going to start going down my rabbit hole even deeper, to the point where I'm not going to tell you what I'm about to do, but it's really about to go deep because I know how important it is to be able to communicate, shape narratives, and be able to create the content and media around whatever it is that you want to do. If you could create content, you could do some things. If you could create content and you understand artificial intelligence, we could really do some things. If you could create the technology that we use to implement with artificial intelligence, man, you could really do some things. Get out here and learn it. Get out here and learn it. Do something immediately. Please. I'm begging. Because this stuff is really changing the world. And we're sitting over here arguing and really about stuff that really doesn't even matter. We're arguing and fighting and complaining about stuff that really doesn't make or break our daily livelihoods. It's really fluff. And the powers that be are putting this stuff in place in order to disrupt, in order to shift where our focus is. Like they're really disrupting what it is that we're doing on a daily basis. And they're doing it on purpose. The propaganda is real. Propaganda, has been out here for a very long time, but it's really real from a social media perspective, especially from a social media perspective. And how do we see through the noise? How do we see through the noise? And I really want to be in a position with this podcast and how I'm going to do things. I really want to be able to see through the noise. I just felt I had to shoot something. I'm not that type of guy who really needs to have like, oh, I'm about to drop this, or I'm about to do this, or I'm about to do that. Like, so many people put so much, they want their content to be perfect. Whereas me, I'm just going to do it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just going to be what it's going to be. And I'm putting it out here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm putting it out here, and I'm going to get other folks on this platform who are really, 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 really smarter than me. And I'm going to bring them on this platform. However, I just wanted to get out here and tell y'all that this is what I am going to do. It's going to be the Malcolm Cooley podcast. And I'm going to talk about whatever I want, but I really want to talk to you guys about AI. And I'm going to talk to you guys even more in depth about AI, because it's something that's changing the face of the planet. It's something that everybody can learn. It could literally equalize the playing field if we were in position to curate and produce the technology and be able to understand and extrapolate the data and create the models with the data. And I want us to be able to do that. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying any of this to scare anybody. I just want us to be aware. And I actually had a long conversation about awareness. Once you're in a position where you're aware, it almost forces you to keep going. When you find out that something, it almost enlightens you. It's like, oh, I got to keep going. I got to figure this out. What is this? You might or might not jump down a rabbit hole. However, this is a rabbit hole you gotta jump down. And I want to bring the awareness of many things to this platform. I want to be funny. Like I said, we want to talk about all types of stuff. And like I said, I just want to double down on that conversation around AI, because it's so important. So important. I want everyone who's under the sound of my voice, like I said, just if go to YouTube, go to Google, go to YouTube for real, and just learn how to prompt. Learn how to prompt ChatGPT. It's many, many, many different models on ChatGPT now. Like, they got a deep research model. They're bringing out more models every single day. You got Sora underneath a GPT, and they have like a deep research model that's really, really, really good. So please go and do research. There's a guy on YouTube that I follow. His name is Matt Wolf. He is he's probably one of the best folks that I've ever seen. Oh, he's actually one of the best folks on YouTube that I follow from a generative AI perspective. He's really up on all the news, so go follow Matt Wolf and learn this, y'all. Learn it. It's so many apps that you can use to just peruse through and try out, and really just get a real good understanding for what machine learning, AI, what all this stuff does, who NVIDIA is and why they're important. Go have at it. Go have at it. Once again, this is going to be my podcast. It's the Malcolm Cooley podcast. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to talk, and I'm going to bring people on, and we going to really make this thing happen. We're going to make this thing happen, y'all. And I just want to be in a position to bring you guys awareness. I want to get smarter myself. I want to be more aware about the world that's going on around me, and being in a position to take the steps to be prepared. I was just talking to my daughter about being prepared. That's what we need to be. We just need to be prepared financially, communication wise, tech wise, politically. We need to be prepared. And I'm really making this podcast for being prepared. And like I said, I'm going to talk about whatever I want, from anime to all blurred stuff, tech, business, entertainment, finances, all the things. I'm going to talk about whatever I want. Education. So, yeah, y'all, I just wanted to get on here because I felt it. This is my first one. I felt it on my heart. So, yeah, y'all, make sure y'all follow me everywhere. Follow my the podcast is going to be on my it's going to live on Malcolm Cooley on YouTube. My other YouTube account, and where all my main stuff is, Malcolm Locks. Then I have a gaming channel where it's going to be all things blurred content. FFG Malcolm. So make sure y'all follow me there. So Malcolm Coley is the YouTube where this is going to live. Malcolm Locks is all of my main social media handles and my other YouTube. And I also have a gaming and blurred type page, which is FFG Malcolm. So make sure you follow me on all those platforms. Yeah, y'all. And we gonna make this thing happen, right? Whether you like it or you don't. Peace.